Hey, we're talking with Kyle Hankinson from KCH Surface Finishing, which will be exhibiting at the NASF Surf and Show June 7th through 9th in Rosemont, which is in Chicago. Kyle, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks a lot, Tim. Glad to be here. Appreciate the invite.
Great. So for those who may not know, I know you've been around, you all have been around for a lot of years, since the 70s, but tell us a little bit about KCH Surface Finishing, all that you offer, all the services that you offer to the finishing industry.
Absolutely. Yeah, KCH Surface Finishing is a company that traditionally has always manufactured industrial air pollution control systems, scrubbers and ventilation, mist eliminators and fans and ducting. And in the 90s, we transitioned into also building complete process lines and have continued that endeavor and into the 2020 and 2022 here. We've even added to our team, brought in some more technical prowess as it relates to anodizing and electroplating processes, and now we build complete anodizing systems as well as other types of electroplating processes. We build a lot of that equipment in-house at KCH, design and build it. We've got a complete thermoplastics fabrication facility, steel and aluminum machining and fabrication facility, as well as a complete fiberglass fabrication facility where we can hand lay up as well as monofilament wind big large tanks out in our Texas operation at ECS there. And so at the the company has kind of always been in the surface finishing industry, traditionally with the ventilation systems, but now more into building out the complete process line itself.
Right. Yeah. I think, back in the, when you all first started, and definitely there was a need for it back in the 80s, you all really got a lot of shops in compliance with their air quality, all of that. I mean, they owe a lot to you all for really coming in and using that expertise and really helping them. And still today, that's such a big issue, right? With a lot of facilities of air quality and, scrubbers and those type of things, especially with regulations getting tougher and tougher, right?
Yeah, that's right. You see the progression of regulatory change through the decades. And in the 90s, KCH, we were the first to develop really an answer to the EPA MAX standard, which is composite mesh pad technology with our Spectra U system. And then California got more stringent on their regulations, and we were the first to really start introducing HEPA filtration on the tail end of those Spectra units to meet that lower air emissions standard. And then in 2005, 2006, OSHA promulgates the new exposure limit for inside exposure to workers and employees. And we help design automated cover systems to further capture any fugitive emissions with our smart tank covers. And then, it's continuing today. The industry and OSHA at some point in time may take another look at that regulation. We know that California is proposing to potentially, the California Air Resources Board is proposing to ban the use of hexavalent chrome in the state and electroplating and anodizing operations there. It's a tough fight for a lot of the platers there, and so we're just here to try to help them be in compliance and react to the changes that may occur down the road. I know that ACGIH and NIOSH, these institutional bodies, they've recently lowered their recommended exposure limits even further, and so who knows? OSHA may kind of make a change off their heels as well in the future. So we just want to be there, ready to try to capture these emissions. These emissions are in the almost submicronic size now. And, we know that a micron is very, very small speck of nothing like dust, or much smaller than human hair even. And so it's going to be a real challenge. Thankfully, we're looking also at some alternatives out there to some of these chromium emissions and alternatives to hexavalent chrome, which we can get into.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say it's very technical, but I always tell people who some of the shops that ask me, I'll say, you don't need to know it. You just need to find somebody that knows it. And that would be KCH, right? I mean, it is a very technical, you have to really know and study this stuff every single day to understand
Yeah.
what it needs to take. It can be a hardship for some people to understand it, but like I said, to have a company like KCH that can come in and really, who's been around for, like I said, for many decades and knows, and not just today, but I think you all are kind of foreseeing what's coming down the pike and can really get a shop ready, because you don't want to be there with not in compliance when rules come, right? You want to be there ready and to be able to adjust it.
Yeah, it's good to be ahead of the curve there.
Right.
So we try to help with that process.
So let's talk about your the show coming up, because there's a lot of neat things going to be in your booth that maybe people haven't seen in the past. You all have some new partnerships, you have some new programs, a lot more expertise. Tell us about that. What people coming to your booth there will be able to see and talk to you all about.
Yeah, so one of the themes for this show, and just want to make sure that it's clear to the market, that we design and build complete process equipment, process lines. And, some of the lines that we've built are 100-foot long. And so obviously we can't display a nice anodized line that we built at the show. We'd like to, but we will have some of our air pollution control systems on display as well. I believe we'll be bringing in one of our Spectre U mist elimination systems with the HEPA filtration, and we may have an exhaust fan. We build our own exhaust fans. They're AMCA certified from the Air Movement Control Association. And we build, again, a lot of things in-house. We have over 150,000 square foot of manufacturing capability between our North Carolina and Texas facilities. And so we're excited to do that. We'll have probably a lot of images and things of that nature, video, that we can sit down and just talk through prospects with. And then we'll also have on display some of our just information about Trion coatings and the safe chrome process. As you know, Trion and KCH are partners in bringing the safe chrome process to the market. And recently, I appreciate you making the announcement. I also joined Trion as their marketing and sales professional to help the team there out of South Bend, Indiana. And we're excited at where that's going. In fact, my colleague Douglas Morrison, president of Trion, will be speaking at the technical conference there. And the crux, so we've changed the speaking arrangement around a little bit. So we've done some research and development with the U.S. Army through this cooperative research agreement. And there's some information that we feel is just useful to the industry to share as that progresses and the development of Safe Chrome for functional applications in the DoD supply chain. And so we're excited to have Doug speak about that at the technical conference, and he'll be joining us in the booth as well as our partner. And so that's the general layout of it. We're right up front at the trade show there. We have been for quite a while. Thankfully, we've been a long-standing contributor to the association, and so we get to maintain that front row presence.
Right. It's funny, as I said, because I'm hearing a lot of shops are actually starting to do their expansions, or they're adding a little line. So it'd be great, like I said, to come see you all, because you can get start talking to people about what they need to be thinking about and adding a line. Plus, you've got the air quality. Plus, like I said, now with the Trion coatings, that adds a lot to it as well. I mean, if that's what someone's looking for, and I know, I know he's giving the talk, and people should definitely hear about that, because that's the group that it came out of the University of Notre Dame. Some very high, well thought of research came out of this. Correct. I mean, it's really relatively new, right? It's relatively a new process, and so people should really listen to his talk and then stop by your booth and really have a good conversation about what they should be knowing.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Tim, one of the interesting things that I think we'll see this year at the trade show is opportunities for companies to bring operations onshore. We've been approached at KCH already and Trion by a number of prospects that currently have their processes plated offshore, or the entire component made and finished offshore. And we all know where the supply chain crunches are right now. We understand what's going on. And so we've been putting together some budgets for some nice projects to bring those capabilities back in the to the United States and Canada and Mexico as well. Even. So it's I think we'll see activity from that, and we hope that that can spread around a lot of the exhibitors at the trade show this year.
Right. Great. And before that, people can go to kchservices.com and check out all that you all do. They can also go to the tryoncoatings.com website and read about that. But definitely they should make a stop to have what you are. Sounds like some very exciting changes going on and some new great additions with that. So, but Cal, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in Rosemont.
All right. Thanks a lot, Tim. Take care.
Okay.